How's it going, everybody? I'm going to be demonstrating a technique I have discovered called the bridge. It's kind of like a cable. It adds a three-dimensional texture to your knitting, but it is not. So you see the bridge right here. I call it a bridge because it looks very much like a bridge. You see that there's kind of two dimples next to it and a raised portion. That raised portion you can actually stick your knitting needle under. They're large holes, but there are stitches behind them. This is the other side of the bridge right here. As you can see, it's kind of like a cable, except it doesn't cross left to right. I knitted one here and there. It's just a cool technique that you can add to sweaters or hats or something. I've never added them to a sweater or hat or anything, but I'm going to after this video. So I'm going to demonstrate this technique. Basically what I'm going to do is, it's a 4-stitch bridge. So I'm going to increase 2 stitches, put 4 stitches onto a cabling needle, hold it to the front, increase 2 stitches, then go to the end of the row. Then I'm going to knit 3 rows. Then I'm going to decrease 2 stitches, put the stitches back on the knitting needles, knit them, decrease 2 stitches, and then go to the end of the row. So I'll show you exactly what I mean. I've already increased 2 stitches. I have 12 on this side and I'll have 16 on this side, so I'm going to take 4 off with my high-tech knitting or cabling needle I like to call my bobby pin. So take 4 off. I'm going to hold it to the front, and usually you would knit 4, then put them back on this row. I'm just going to hold these to the front. They're just going to stay there. So I'm going to, this first knit is tight, and it doesn't have to look nice because it's actually going to be hidden. Then I'm going to do an increase, knit to the end of the row, but I'm going to skip ahead of that. But I am going to, the increases should be slanted towards your bridge. So on this side I have left slanting, this side I'll have right slanting, and then when I decrease I'll want the same thing, left to right slanted. So I'm just going to fast forward. Just know that I increase, hold to the front, increase, knit 3 rows, and then put them back on. So I'm going to skip ahead to that. Okay, so I have knitted 3 rows. And you can see the stitches are still hanging out here on my bobby pin / cable needle. And you see the stitches have pretty much reformed. It's a little tight, ugly here, but these are going to be covered up. So what I've done is I decreased 2 stitches on these sides. These are knit 2 together, left leaning decreases. So I'm going to put these back on my left needle, knit them as normal, and then I'm going to decrease 2 right leaning on the other side. Ooh. So they can be a little tight because they're jumping 3 rows, but just be patient. Don't yank on them, they'll be fine. So that's the 4 I put on. You see there's this gap there. So now I'm going to right lean decrease, slip slip knit. I do this kind of weird. I don't think other people do this that way, but it's just how I've done it. So now if I knit to the end, I'll have maintained the number of stitches for all the rows, and then it won't come out nice until you've knitted a couple more rows, just like cables. So I'm gonna pause, knit a couple more rows, and then show you how the finished product comes out. Okay, so I've knitted 3 rows after joining the stitches back up, and you can see that it has the same puckered dimples here, the raised portion, exactly like a bridge. You can holster your knitting needles in there if you like. So I haven't done much with this. I've just tried out a couple ways of doing it. I'm going to try pairing it with some cables, maybe a cable running up through here, maybe, you know, use some colors to make it look like a path going over some water or something like that. I don't know. It's a cool technique though. I thought it would look really ugly when I tried it, but there's no holes. You can't really tell because there's these stitches in the back that kind of cover up any holes. So on a on a cable, sometimes you can see holes on either side, and if you're a perfectionist like me, not a very good one, you get kind of annoyed. But there's no holes for this one. You could look down through this. It's like a wormhole, you know. It looks pretty cool. So I'm gonna try, you know, making some cool designs with it. And if anyone wants to remix it, or if anyone has any information of someone who's done this before, you know, nothing is new under the sun, so I guarantee it someone has done this before. If you could tell me, that'd be great. So hope you enjoy it. I'm gonna type out a detailed description of how I did this because this video is kind of rushed. So thank you very much.